Welcome to another edition of New Day in the Word. And 40,000 people were polled, and they were asked if Jesus were to suddenly come back today, would he approve or disapprove of modern Christianity? So I wonder what you think. Well, 87% of the people polled said he would disapprove of modern day Christianity. Um, but here's the interesting thing is modern day Christianity didn't just start in the last 20 or 30 years. No, modern Christianity started back at least around the 5th century AD, maybe even before that. And so as we go along, you'll see how I'm defining modern Christianity and why I say that. So let me share with you some characteristics of what I call modern Christianity. All right, number one is institutional religion. um, Christianity became all about denominationalism and buildings with steeples on top and man-made doctrines. Those types of things are not Christianity. That's religion. All right, and it still exists today. And so modern Christianity, like I said, started centuries ago, and we're still feeling the impact of it today. Second characteristic of modern day Christianity is legalism, and that's like church traditions and man-made rules and regulations and people's preferences. And if you don't look a certain way or act a certain way or dress a certain way, you're frowned upon or excluded. And Jesus spoke very specifically about those types of things in Matthew 5, 7 through 9. So let me read that to you. Jesus said, "You hypocrites, Isaiah was right when he prophesied about you. These people honor me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me. They worship me in vain. Their teachings are but rules taught by men." I'm afraid that's where we've come to, and yet it started centuries ago. Third characteristic of modern Christianity is a lack of the miraculous. I mean, let me ask you a question. Where are the miracles today? Miracles characterize Jesus' ministry. They characterized the disciples' ministry. We see them in the ministry of the early church. But where are they now? I mean, you've either got churches that totally deny the miraculous and the move of the Holy Spirit, or you've got other ones that that's all they focus on and they make stuff up. But where are just the biblical miracles and power of the Holy Spirit in modern Christianity? And we see the importance of affirming the gospel with the miraculous in Hebrews chapter 2, beginning with verses 3 and going through 4. And let me read that to you. The writer of Hebrews said this in chapter 2. He said, "This salvation, which was first announced by the Lord, was confirmed to us by those who heard him. God also testified to it by signs, wonders, and various miracles and gifts of the Holy Spirit distributed according to his will." People need the affirmation of the gospel by the miraculous as much today as they did then. But where are the miracles? Number four, characteristics of modern Christianity is selfishness. All people want to know now is, what can God do for me? How often do they ask, what can I do for God? I think Leonard Ravenhill had something really interesting to say about that. He said this: the early church was married to poverty, prisons, and persecutions. Today, the church is married to prosperity, personality, and popularity. Fifth characteristic of the modern day church is uh, convenience. The modern day Christian, I mean, all they want to do is avoid sacrifice and service and persecution and inconvenience at any cost. They just want the easy road. They want to blend in with the world. But that's not Christianity. Clearly, Paul taught in Romans 12, 1 and 2 that we are to present our bodies as living sacrifices, and we are not to conform any longer to the pattern of this world, but be transformed. So those are just a very brief explanation of the characteristics of the modern church. And the really terrible thing is these started back actually even prior to Christ coming, and he spoke out against them in the Judaism of his day, and yet they still spilled over into Christianity shortly after he ascended back to the Father, and then they've just carried themselves over into the Christianity of today. So, what is biblical Christianity? It's certainly not modern Christianity. So, what is biblical Christianity? Well, we're going to find out this week at New Day Fellowship, Sunday at 10:30, 115 North Fayette Street in Shippensburg. So, I hope you'll join us. All right, I'll see you then.